King Ross, and you're my loyal subjects. And I've bought a wrestling ring because I can, alright? And here are all the WTF Moments from WWE Raw. There was no Shane or Stephanie to open this week's Raw, and I'm very scared because that's not normal. I do hope they're okay. They're really calling them the Club. I really would have preferred Gullet Blub, to be honest. Michael Cole claims that Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose have been going at it for months. No, they haven't. Mitch, the potted plant, is more over than Roman Reigns will ever be. He had chance and everything last night. It was wonderful. Chris Jericho claimed that Mitch, the potted plant, was more interesting, had more charisma, and was worth more to WWE than Dean Ambrose. Now, I don't know about you, but I think Chris was talking about someone else. That's right. Roman Reigns. Trollololol. Lolololol. Enzo annoying. Now, I know Chris Jericho was besmirching War Pal Enzo, but that's an incredible nickname for a heel. The Omaha crowd start chanting, "Where is Enzo?" Where do you think he is? He nearly died a couple of weeks ago. Silly, stupid idiot moron, Omaha morons. Big caster Chris Jericho. You may be the best in the world at what you do, but I am 7 feet tall. Hundreds of years of wrongness from WWE encapsulated in one sentence. It's still wrong today, you know. Paige! I can't believe it. Is Corbin allowed to wrestle anybody else? It doesn't look like it. He's exclusively Ziggles. Steph to Chris Jericho. Don't ever make the mistake of driving a wedge between me and my brother. But what about 2 months worth of WrestleMania build-up? I mean, that's another thing that didn't matter on the grandest stage of them all. So Dolph Ziggler's roll-up victory on the pre-show of Payback has been Benoit. Why wasn't it mentioned on Raw? It's John O'Clock for the first time this week, and JBL made a huge mistake when reading out the list of football players that have transferred into the wrestling ring. Here's a list for you. Bronco, Gursky, Ernie Ladd, Bobby Duncombe, and Vader. But where was Roman? How could you forget Roman, John? Silly boy. After roughly 12 minutes of everyone on screen talking about the Corbin era, Byron Saxton talks about the Corbin area. I mean, that means something completely different, Byron. I don't know what you get up to in your spare time, but you know, keep it off Raw. The world does not want to know what you and Baron get up to. A 90% satisfaction rate for a wrestling streaming service that is subscribed to by solely wrestling fans? That's shit. My rating's 102% because I'm the bloody king. So you remember when Steph told Chris Jericho not to drive a wedge between her and her brother? When Ric Flair asked Shane how you and your sister are getting along, Shane replied, "Not really." He just doesn't give a f***. AJ Styles getting booed. Get your hands away from that knob, Kevin Dunn. You're only supposed to turn those boos down when Roman Reigns is coming in, not up when AJ Styles comes on screen. Oh, Tyler Breeze on Raw. Holy fucking shitballs. But the internet told me he moved back down to NXT last week. I thought the internet never lied. Byron Saxton claims to have never heard of Carpool Karaoke, despite being the only bloke on the roster who clearly has, and watches every single video on YouTube 10 times. It's John O'Clock again, and this time JBL was poking fun at Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne's divorce. He even called Ozzy's hairstylist cute. You fucking sicko, JBL. What's wrong with you? Rosa Mendez's botched tweet. How on earth is she still employed when Damien Sandow isn't? Summer Rae's tweet. I mean, you'll do what to Ric Flair? He's an old man with massive earlobes. Did Maggle really have to ask Natalya if she tapped out at Payback? That man reported on Wars at one time, you know. Now he's just such a waste of breath, isn't he? Look at Ric Flair's face. What does that say to you? It only says one thing to me. Ganraj, neck cowies. And if you don't know what Ganraj and neck cowies means, you're simply not worth my time. It's John O'Clock again, and this time he can't say Beyonce. Despite Michael Cole telling him he was wrong numerous times, he kept saying Beyonce. And even called her Bay at one instance. Oh, I wanted to crawl back up my mother's fallopian tubes when he said that. Michael Cole actually calls a wrestling move correctly. The WhatCulture signs, you keep those coming, my loyal subjects, you keep those coming indeed. Never has a debuting superstar received less of a pop than Dana Brooke did on Raw this week. Crickets, I tell you. Could hear them everywhere. Make Darren Young great again? That implies he was great once. That sign that said going in Raw. My mind's going in very, very dirty places right now. Michael Cole said your boy Ruru won a battle royal on SmackDown. It happened on Raw 7 days ago. The BWO sign. It's a bit weird, isn't it? What's that doing there? Sin Cara beating your boy Ruru. Bullshit! Now wouldn't you just know it? We finally know their name. Those Puerto Rican superstars will be called the Shining Stars. Big crap that really, innit? What will Luke Gallows wear on his legs next week? Tune in to find out, because it's been something different every time so far. That man's got a bigger wardrobe than my wife, who doesn't exist yet. Roman Reigns claims he saw Luke Gallows hitting an Uso in the head when the shot that was on screen clearly showed he was having a little nap on the outside the ring. You liar, Roman. You liar. Byron Saxton claims that the worst situation for Roman Reigns would be a 2-on-1 situation in a 3-on-3 elimination match. 3-on-1, Byron. 3-on-1. Eliminations taking place during commercials now. I mean, who cares? Who cares about the eliminations? Not what the match was based on or anything. How did JBL know that AJ Styles was going to lift the top of the announce table off? I don't know. A 50-50 split in the crowd for Roman Reigns and AJ Styles. Kevin Dunn, your fingers are working far too hard at the minute. Those empty seats for a Kevin Owens match? You can't be serious, Jeff. Michael Cole claims Kevin Owens is 280 pounds, despite it being announced a few seconds earlier that he weighs 266. Woohoo! Renee liked that How You Doing from Big Cass, didn't she? But what about Dean Ambrose and Cass? What about Carmella? That's a foursome I'd like to see on pay-per-view. I need to stop thinking out loud. Bloody hell. The New Day referencing slavery, because apparently the vaudevillains come from an era that wasn't too kind to people like them. Kofi Kingston's nunchuck action. I mean, if he's not careful, people are going to start calling him Steve Blackman? Blackman. Oh, I'm just as bad as WWE. Michael Cole! Call your pappy, the Dudley Boys are here. But that was an Eddie Guerrero thing, he had a t-shirt and everything. Jericho's jacket costs how much? $15,000? That's $14,999 more than it's worth. Stupid idiot moron, jacket wearing idiot moron, Winnipeg idiot. The it spelled soft sign with soft spelled correctly. You boring bastard. And finally, and of course I'm doing it because I love them so much, we're ending on a sign. The one that said, airport bars, fear flair. Now I don't know about you, but I reckon they love him because he puts bare ducats into them without any remorse. And that's it for this week's WTF Moments from my wrestling ring. I've been King Ross and you've been my loyal subjects, and I'll see you next week. King!
WhatCulture.com are releasing a new magazine about wrestling, and it's called Wrestling. It'll have 140 pages of timeless wrestling content, including a brand new How WWE Should Have Booked written by this virulent son of a bitch. It will also have a list of the 100 best wrestling matches of all time compiled by WhatCulture staff and wrestling insiders. So the magazine is available to pre-order now. Follow the link in the description and enjoy WhatCulture.com's Wrestling.